tournament. He's the guy that, when you're talking about a Lucira, Flash, Atasia, Harding is one of the names you mentioned up there as well. Right now, Jaedong, not so much, but you root for him, but he's, at least on paper, not up there with those guys right now.
I totally agree. Of course, when it comes to Protoss, Parting, House of Ops, you know, those are the people that you come to HomeStory Cup for.
Oh, man. See,
All right.
the audience completely dead on that one, too.
No.
Guys, move past the championships, please.
Alrighty, as you guys can see, we are loaded into the first map of the last quarterfinals. It is on Nimbus. And in the left bottom side of the map, we have our blue Protoss representing the Yowie Flash Wolves. Give it up for Parting. Man, that was some pretty smooth zooming around by Funka. After the way that Funka behaved last night, I did not think that he could zoom like that, because he was walking like that yesterday.
That's smooth? Funka's a funny guy. We're lucky to have him.
All right, Snoot, why don't you go ahead?
And here in the bottom right, from Evil Geniuses, give it up for Jaedong!
Snoot, in these positions, EVP, good or bad for Zerg?
It completely depends on the unit composition that the Zerg wants to use.
Well, put yourself in Jaedong's position. Are you going to... What composition do you aim for to take advantage of this?
Possibly Swarm Host. Life said it himself. On this map, he feels the most comfortable going for Swarm Host. He said that in his winner's interview on BlizzCon.
Yeah.
And he's got a point. This map is very narrow when it comes to the attacking the third base, for example. There's this tiny, tiny choke, and not really a whole lot of space to use concaves, Roach Hydra, etc.
Snoot, I have a question for you. Why wouldn't you take your first hatch on the low ground over here?
That's more of a safe move, I suppose.
You can get cannon rush easier, I suppose.
Yeah, but this is also very common. This is sort of like doing the same. Triple
Yeah,
hatch
that's
before
true.
pool.
I wasn't sure yet if we was going to go double hatch before pool, but
yes. Excuse
in
me.
the end it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Oh,
but if it would have been like a one
you
pool,
could have done Lincoln Park in the end, and then you said it doesn't make that much of a difference? Come on, man. It's a caster mistake. Why the Zealot, though? Usually that's to stop a hatch from going down in a blocking spot, but on this map it's really unlikely.
But it's very nice with this early Zealot to put on some pressure against the triple hatch.
Hey,
before
Parting
pool.
didn't see it actually yet. I mean, he's going to see the spawning pool right now, so he's probably like, hey, that's a pretty light spawning pool, but kind of funny how he missed that first hatchery.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious to see if he's going to commit more to this pressure, maybe make a second Zealot, but I don't think so.
Yeah, looks like not so far. I think if you would make the second, it would be queued up almost immediately.
Yeah, just gonna go for the Nexus here. In-base Nexus from Parting.
Seems to be safer that way.
Yeah.
He is walking across the map, as you said, though, Snoot, with this Zealot. It's going to get some, hopefully more than just paint damage on a hatchery. He wants to go for a couple of drones, stop some mining, that kind of thing. Force Lings out.
He's gonna go straight into the main to do snipes and drones. Maybe even go to the natural because there's so many drones in the main. But I think he is going to make use of the positions between the minerals.
Yeah, you're right.
Retreat there, just like this. And maybe get the drone kill or two.
I think he might be able to get at least one drone kill. It's pretty difficult to
let's
micro for a while against
Good
Zealot.
micro by Jaedong so
That
far.
caster curse just...
Solid micro.
Solid!
Nope. No, he did get one. There you go, Kevin.
Yeah. You don't really need to fight this Zealot to serve.
he got a
It's just
circling.
Wait for the
convenient.
queen to pop out.
Yeah, you can wait for the queen, but it's not a very big deal.
This is nice though. This mothership core is actually going to be able to pick up. Hey man, the Zealot was just giving the alley-oop to the mothership core.
Softened it up, man.
That's Nimbus for you. Close positions Nimbus. If this was crossed, this would not be possible.
Wow, this is actually a very solid opening by Parting.
Oh, look at this. 4 more gateways going down. Parting is going up to 5 gates.
You know,
Right
what
at the
is...
front there, too.
The mothership core did spot, and I wanted to talk about this before that Zealot went to town on the mineral line. The mothership core did spot the extractor in the natural. I like that Jaedong took it there because, you know, normally if the mothership core wouldn't fly across, then it's kind of hard for the Protoss to figure out, hey, am I playing against gas or not? I would love Parting's opening if Jaedong is
look at
gasless.
this.
But Jaedong is getting speed links.
I still like his opening.
Jaedong Circlings are moving up
Okay,
the map
this-
here. And
this
they're gonna
is
see all the
huge.
gates.
It's very good.
That's
Parting
huge.
just showed all the gates.
Without that scout, this is a snap build order win as far as I'm concerned. There's no crease red to that third. Jaedong does have speed on the way, but it's a ways away. Now with the Spine Crawler and Lings coming out, there is a chance.
It almost looks like Jaedong is going to try to perhaps even, or no, he's not going to try, but it seems like he's willing to sacrifice it, or at least he's going to play this safe for now, and he wants to buy as much time as
Yeah.
possible.
I'm so curious. Why would Parting show 5 gates like this?
I have no idea either. Those are,
Could it be that he's
Why there,
transitioning?
too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets scouted so easily.
Jaedong knows everything. He knows that there's 5 gates.
Yep. I like the amount of queens. Queens are going to be so effective against all these zealots. I actually think that Jaedong has enough. The spine crawler is going to make his way to the low ground as well. It's a lot of zealots though, Jaedong. You're going to have to fight right here and right now.
Yeah, I think this might be too many zealots. I would love to see Jaedong go for the pylons with the links and maybe even sacrifice this.
It's like 30 zerglings as well though, and with the spine
see.
and the queens, we don't have any transfuses yet, I believe.
He needs to not lose the hatch, though, because he can just recall out and do it essentially for free. Yeah, you're stuck on a bunch of zealots, and you stop pro production for a while, but...
I always hate that when
that is a crap ton of zealots.
When I'm like forced to recall out and I'm sitting at home with all these zealots, it's like, well...
I'm not sure
More on that later.
JD is looking for the pylons, but he has yet to find any. Small counterattack as well.
You know, but now I think it's going to be pretty hard to work on that hatch. We have like 2 or 3 transfuses available. Look at Parting is even whopping in a sentry or 2. I'm not sure. I guess he's going to try to trap the queens.
Third is going to fall. I think so.
Hey, there's a large amount of zerglings on the left side of the map as well. I think Parting.
This is a very narrow choke here. Yeah. We talked about this at the start. So the zealots might get some great surface area, but so far.
It's an okay
very good surround by JD on the top.
Yeah, it's an okay surround on a couple of those zealots on the top side.
But Parting is winning the fight in the bottom here.
He's winning this fight, but what's happening at the gateways looks like Jaedong has actually disengaged. He's been held there as well. This is a really tough spot to be in.
I think JD is in so much trouble right now. Zealots are so good. And he only had 2 spines. I would think maybe you would need something like 4 or 5.
I think that Jaedong made a mistake by sending too many zerglings to the left side of the map. He's going to try to pick off 2 more zealots, but in the end, Parting is going to be more than okay with this. He's even on bases right now, and he's also off 6 workers. And actually, these zealots are still doing a really good job against all these zerglings.
Winning the fight over there. Trading is the word you'd want to use, but he actually just straight up won that fight against the Zerglings. He's pushing to the high ground. He's done so much damage, and the counterattack is so little that he says, you know what, let's go for the win.
Yeah, such an in-your-face style from Parting. Not afraid of anything, just showing off 5 gates, 4 gates in the wall. He's just going for it.
Wow. Being up 8 workers now, walking into the main base of Jaedong with more than 10 zealots over here. We have still a few zerglings on the way, but the queens are going to fall for Jaedong. I think that this is just pretty much
it's over. Yeah. He's in the middle line. The queens are hoping for some zoning there, but it's just not going to happen. Parting absolutely demolished. Like we said, Snoot, he puts the gateways right in plain of sight. He says, no, that's okay. I'm gonna win you anyways, man. Comes in, smashes them down.
Good game.
Big boy Parting. I still want to go back to this moment one more time because it looked like Jaedong was setting himself up in an okay position. It was like 11 zealots and a Mothership Core against 29 Zerglings, 3 queens and a Spine Crawler. But then he almost, just a couple of seconds later, I think he sent roughly 16 Zerglings to the left side of the map. And he was still producing units. But I really think having those Zerglings at home, that would have helped quite a bit. Because the force field really caught him off guard. I do not think that he expected to see a sentry being wiped in on that side of the map. And that allowed him to lose the queens. And he was kind of banking on those queens to stick around for a long time, make sure to finish off the zealots with their range attack. And of course, drop a couple of transfusions.
Well, a big part of that too is the counterattack.
Around quarterfinals BlizzCon. Pretty much same scenario. Live just sits there with like 8 queens. He just didn't stop producing queens. And Sun had like 25 zealots, but on a certain point it was like 8 or 10 queens, all of them with like 100 energy, and then like a bunch of slow zerglings. He didn't even make speed. He just defended with slow zerglings and queens.
MC with a little bit of the peering into the future. Day 1 at HomeStory Cup, he was talking about how queens are completely imbalanced, actually saying.
Queen de Relisk.
Yeah, they're just really good. And yeah, it's the trap that Jaedong fell for. The other thing too, to just give one final nod to that, a lot of times when, as you said, Rotterdam, a Protoss finds the Zerg really well set up, Spine Crawler, 3 queens, Lings already there, they'll go back home, they'll start building probes, they'll take their gases, they'll have their contingency plan, and when they do that, that cuts into the ability for that timing attack to do any damage at all. But Parting just kind of almost MC-esque remains stubborn and is like, no, actually, if I just keep warping in Zealots, I will eventually overcome this. And then Jaedong kind of gave him that window of opportunity by going for the counterattack, by looking for the pylons, as you point out, Snoot, both of which reaped nothing.
And by not building any more queens. Let's go ahead and introduce our players because we're already 2 minutes in the game on Overgrove over here on the left bottom side of the map. He is down 0-1, but I know a lot of you here in the building are here to support him. Give it up for Evil Geniuses Jaedong.
Oh, I insist though, Snoot.
All right, and here in the top right, from Yoe Flash Wolves, give it up for Parting.
So well done. Everything you do is great, Snoot.
Thank you, Jeff.
I saw you drinking a beer earlier, and I thought that was fantastic too. You tipped it back just perfectly.
Oh wow, so smooth.
I did see Jaedong checking out the VODs of Saxory versus Parting earlier, and then Hyun. Of course, Parting won both those series. He's looking really good, playing very strong. first game's not really. I mean, it has the subtle things that we look to and be like, oh wow, Parting is playing really well. But otherwise, I mean, it's funny because to a layman, you look at that and you're like, what? He just warped in a bunch of zealots and A-moved him. Protoss him. But he actually did a lot more than that. A lot more than that. And
I mean, in the end, he did just wipe in a bunch of zealots.
oh. You're like a TLO junior right now over there.
Why?
Everything I say got the small little correction. Well, actually, that is what he did. No, it's not. Takes a lot more than just warping in zealots.
I know. But he did wipe in a bunch of zealots.
He did, Kevin. Thank you.
I like what we're seeing over here from Parting. He's just preventing Jaedong from dropping any hatchery. He went for a double pylon block. Did cancel one of the pylons, but he's buying a lot of time. Of course, in the end, both hatcheries will still go down at the 4-minute mark, but they're just starting, and normally one of the hatcheries is already more than halfway done.
Another missed Linkin Park moment. My goodness. You'll
What
get
did-
there. 2 links making their way in here.
What did I miss, Jeff? Now I want
You
to know.
said in the end.
That-
It didn't even matter because he made the hatcheries. You could have been great. Cannon fish just a little bit. 2 Zerg is not going to be that big of a deal. These are not enough to. I mean, they're going to disrupt some mining, sure. You're going to get what you want. And scouting at this point in time is not super important because I doubt there's going to be 5 gateways anytime soon.
Yeah.
Not again.
We'll never know.
But Jaedong will because he's got 2 lings in the base.
And that's actually very nice. These are small things. It may not look that big, but it's actually very frustrating for a
Hey,
Protoss
this is
player.
a really early gas by Jaedong. I think he might go for some sort of early speedlink tech
You think so?
off of a single gas.
To like cancel the 3rd perhaps. And then,
yeah,
try to win the game
possibly.
maybe.
But then again, Parting just started up his +1. So if JD goes for his speedlink spell, it's going to run straight into +1 zealots, and that's not going to be very good for the Zerg.
Maybe he's going for the old school Happy Zerg build, Snoot, where he just makes like 82 Zerglings on 3 hatcheries and he hides them on, then he just knocks on the front door. And even when there's like a sentry, a cannon, and a mothership core, he's like, it's not enough.
We'd have 2 fantastic games to start off this best of 5. Then wouldn't we? Like pure Zealots game 1 and then just pure Zerglings game 2. Like, what tier 1 tech will they use next? Just mass queens, I guess. These lings,
Man, that's so well done by Jaedong.
I underrated them, by the way. I was like, they're not going to do much. They're doing great. A couple of probes been pulled off several times. The Zealots made here. Zealots can do nothing but, play tag with 2 guys that run a lot faster than him. Great intel. And the other thing that's kind of underrated, and not a lot of people talk about this, you can't build in your main while this is going on. You don't build a Stargate underneath these Zerglings. You don't build a Twilight Council, a Robo. So if Parting had plans to do either of those things, or any of those things rather, he's delaying them.
Yeah, 6 minutes and 40 seconds, and his main tech building is not even done yet. If he wants to go
I
for
think it'll
one.
be a
Yeah. +1 does
maybe
kind
Gateway
of,
Explosion, or a 3rd.
+1 kind of counts as a sort of tech though.
That's true.
It enables you to do gateway timings and a 3rd base. So
There's that 3rd.
yeah, 3rd base going down.
Overlord
It's weird
is
to
going
rush to
find it.
+1 like that.
I think it makes perfect sense.
Oh, never
when
mind.
When
It
your
makes
goal is to
perfect
take a
sense.
3rd base.
God, you guys. Look,
Jeff
come on,
can't
give me
catch a
something.
break.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, this thing doesn't seem right. So he's like,
This is-
actually,
this is
everything
precisely what we
about it
talked
is
about.
normal.
Here comes the speedlink swell running straight into the +1 timing.
Both
Actually,
evolution-
maybe it's not a swell. Snoot. No, to finish my thought, though, yes, of course, +1 is always helpful, but to get it that early, I mean, it'll be helpful in like, it's like a fake attack going on here.
Yeah,
And then
Parting
he's
is
gonna-
pulling a small MC. This actually could work against Parting
Hey.
because the mothership core is going to be pretty far out of position, and it's kind of a building that you would really like to have around when you're trying to keep your
Jaedong's
turret base
checking
alive.
anyways.
And these gateways from Parting are sort of late.
I mean, 1 cannon, I don't think it's going to be enough. I
It's just
think
on 1 gate.
Well, for
It's a-
those lings, it's going to be enough, but the ones that follow it up, it's
yeah,
going to be
exactly.
tough. Yeah.
this is a big investment, of course, but Jaedong
No
as well,
fault,
guys.
no.
Don't get me
Instant
wrong.
recall.
No fault, no charge.
Wow.
Instant recall back.
It's so many Zerglings. We have 40 Zerglings on the map. One of the pylons is going to get picked off immediately. I do think we have cannon number 2 and 3 going down over here for Parting. But yeah, like you said, no fault and overcharge. That
Late
cannon-
gateways, as Stu
Parting
pointed
right
out.
now is on 1 single warp.
Oh! His own Warpin zoned out the sentries, but it looks like they will be safe. They do have to use their force fields.
And they trapped themselves in. Very well done there by Jaedong, of course, because forcing Parting to drop those force fields.
Yeah.
But in the end, he's not going to... No. He won't get the Nexus.
Now that I've drawn attention to it, it's gonna haunt you.
I hate you.
Great Sim City here, though. The 3 cans, of course, more than enough. And essentially, Parting's opening is a huge success. +2 attack. Blink is all on the way. And these Zerglings, they become like a peanut gallery. They're like, hey, good job making that Nexus. We'll be back later, I suppose. Like, there's nothing else they can do.
I like what we're already seeing though from Jaedong.
Oh.
He's gonna get
Or they
a
can do that, I
surround. That's actually pretty well done. He's gonna get a stalker, maybe a sentry or 2 even.
Well, when these force woods go down, man, they're going to mean mug the crap out of that army in there, but it's not going to happen. With the gateways finished, there's enough warp-ins, too, that this is all getting reinforced.
Hey, I really love the burrow. Jaedong often makes burrow in like the best moments ever against Protoss, and it seems like Parting is just like, hey, if you made that many Zerglings, you're probably going to be greedy behind this because you want to catch up. So I'm just going to attack you. He's going to make a War Prism, and I think he's going to go absolutely ham on just gateway units as soon as Blink is ready.
I'm a little bit concerned for Parting if he decides to throw down a ton of gateways right now, because
I mean, he already
he's going to run into 1-1 links, roach speed. Jaedong is only on 4 gases, so he's going to be able to mass roaches, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
And Parting hasn't built any additional gas geysers in his.
Good scouting, too, kind of pre-match from Jaedong. He saw Parting do this a couple times yesterday, so he expected this coming. Oh, I wanted to crap on that robo or something. Do it. Do it.
That would actually be great because the Observer would be later.
Not enough energy just yet.
So Jaedong already has the 1-1 upgrades for his Zerglings, but now he's just going to make a ridiculous amount of roaches, but he could potentially...
He sees the gas at the third, though, and I bet they don't get saturated. Maybe they do, but a lot of times with this timing attack, you actually don't take the gases, so it's a little bit of... Maybe it's an attempt to send misinformation by taking them.
But Jaedong made so many units on 65 drones. He's expecting this attack for sure.
Yeah.
He's been making a great read. He's doubling the army supply almost of Parting.
Look at... Well, Parting, good choice, by the way, from Parting to get the Warp Prism. If he was relying on pylons, this would have 0 chance. But with the Warp Prism, he'll always be able to reinforce over here as well.
This fourth base is going to be difficult for Jaedong to defend. Like, I think Jaedong's army is a lot better in straight-up engagement, but there is Blink and there are a lot of force fields available as well, so Jaedong has to be very, very careful if he decides to really go all out on trying to keep this hatchery alive, which it seems like he wants to do.
And Parting so far does not have a backup plan. He doesn't have a robo on the way, but he seems maybe interested in taking a fourth base.
Rotterdam, good call. There's no observer over here for some reason.
Yeah, it's on his way, I know, isn't it? Yeah, yes, yeah, okay, it's almost there.
Oh no, there is an observer.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I'm wrong again. Damn it. Roaches are over here.
Parting is really committing to this. He has the money to drop robo or fourth base behind this, but he's not opting in for it. He's just going hard on the gateway units.
I feel that Jaedong is doing exactly what Parting wants him to do, desperately keep this hatchery alive, and he's fighting in a difficult position. The roaches are getting on top of the sentries now though, but the Stalkers have +2 attack and they have Blink.
I mean, the sentries they did what they were supposed to do. They used up all their energy. They're getting... Of course, you want to keep them alive, but as the fight goes, you can see Parting has the upper hand. He's just going to warp in pure Stalkers from here.
This is ridiculous.
Aggressive Blink forward, and Jaedong is exhausted. Most of his units basically washed up against the force fields.
He has killed 45 roaches already and has only lost like 7 or 8 Stalkers in the process. Parting is going to be able to kill this hatchery as well on the right bottom side of the map.
He's snowballed. He's at the point in time where he's got so many Blink Stalkers that he doesn't need the sentries anymore. Zoning out is not really what he wants to do. He could aggressively Blink forward.
Yeah, I mean, they're even in supply and he has better upgrades and he has Blink.
Yeah, great call by Parting, not transitioning into something else and just sticking on gateway units. He caught JD's army off in a very tough spot for JD. No creep, so GG.
You know, you say caught, and I agree with you, but I'm going to be honest, I think it was a missed call from Jaedong.
Yeah.
Like, that fourth wasn't saturated. Yes, it's imperative to have a fourth against a 3-base Protoss, but when you know they're moving out with so many... Like, he's not building probes, he's frozen in tech, he's just doing this timing attack. You need to win the fight decisively. You can't just kind of, like, barely edge it out.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, Jeff. I do not think that he was forced to defend that hatch. Of course, losing it stinks, but if he counterattacks, maybe he can get some damage done on the other side of the map. Because Jaedong had a lot of units. He had 82 army supply. If 82 army supply is going to counterattack, as a Protoss, you're going to recall as soon as possible. I'm not even sure if Parting would commit to walking all the way across the map and like losing stuff at home, because if a bunch of roaches break down your cannon park. Well, you missed the Roddy soundboard because you said great force fields, and I was like, he might be able to do it. You didn't go for it, Jeff. Anyways, we are loaded into game number 3 here on Deadwing. Over here on the right top side of the map, we have the big boy himself. He is looking very dominant in this matchup. Give it up for Parting.
Okay. And his opponent, trailing 0-2 and needing the support of all his fans because he's got a big mountain to climb. It's Evil Genius's Jaedong. Parting demolish in the first 2 games. Like, you know, we spent all our time talking about the mistakes of Jaedong, but let's give credit where credit's due as well. Parting is forcing these mistakes. He's making the game very decisive and saying, hey, you got to make perfect decisions, otherwise this is going to look really silly. And so far, Jaedong has not been up to snuff. He has not made the perfect decisions, and it's not all on Jaedong. It's because Parting is putting that on Jaedong and that pressure on this stage at a foreign tournament in front of this lovely German crowd. He's doing a great job.
Snoot, I do want to ask you once more about the amount of Zerglings that Jaedong made early on. Obviously, he's hoping to cancel that base. Why do you think he wasn't able to get the cancel?
Yeah, I think it may be, perhaps it just hit a little bit too late. The SimCity was already up, and Parting was able to get enough sentries out.
The other thing, too, is he went for the cannon. He went for the cannon. He killed a pylon, then went for the cannon as opposed to focusing on the Nexus. It was great SimCity. There's 2 cannons almost instantly queued up for a total of 3. Parting didn't inexpensively try to hold that Nexus.
Maybe it would have been
a
safe move to go for the Nexus, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But
I actually think you make a very good point there, Jack, because for the rest, it was going well for Jaedong, because the only units that Parting had, the Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core, they were out of position, and he had to recall, and he recalled to the different base, because the Nexus wasn't done yet. So, yeah, of course, one cannon is going to kill quite a few links, but it happened now too, and if he goes for the Nexus, there was a lot of surface area to work with.
Yeah. A lot, but less than normal.
Yeah.
Parting built 3 more gateways at the third, which is something that we've seen people shy away from, because if that third is lost, then you're losing all your production on top of that, which is game over. Yeah. He immediately warped in 2 cannons when he noticed that there's this Ling attack coming. So again, Parting with the great reactions. And Jaedong was put in a hard spot. He has the back, let's call it 50% of the Nexus exposed for that surface area, or he goes for the cannon. He made the wrong choice, went for the cannon. But who's to say going for the Nexus would have yielded any different results? It was just a nice move by Parting.
I guess the only thing you could say is that Jaedong was afraid that if he would go for the Nexus, that maybe a couple of the Zerglings will get trapped. You know, if a Sentry does make it over and drop a force field, and there is a Zealot that creates a wall, then suddenly all these Zerglings are stuck, and you make 40 Zerglings, you lose them all, you have no more map control whatsoever, and maybe you don't get the Nexus, and then it's almost game over. So.
Yeah, I think going for the pylon and the cannon can yield some better results. If you're able to take those down, then you can take down the entire base as well.
Yeah.
Force out the army and maybe catch it off guard. But whereas sniping the Nexus is more of a bit of an ambitious move, it can go very, very wrong if the Nexus barely stays alive.
Jaedong's dream of dreams, because he did have a back group of Zerglings waiting to flank out a Protoss reinforcement army, but again, just great.
I'm not sure.
And one of the things that we almost just took for granted because it's Parting, but it was actually very well done. It's so easy as a Protoss player to lose units when you try to defend your third base from your natural, units that are in transit, sentries that get surrounded and get picked off. He dropped a lot of force fields, but he kept all of his units alive all the time, did not lose. It's like one of these things, you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's what Protoss is supposed to do, but it's not that easy.
No, it's not. A little bit of a mini skirmish happened. Zergling was trying to run up the ramp, and actually a force field was used to block that. What I like about that, because we look at this, we see, well, there's no critical tech, there's nothing. But Parting knows for Jaedong, the concern is that Parting could have anything up there. 2 Stargates, 5 gateways, a macro third Nexus. Anything is possible.
Yeah, I too would be extremely concerned about what Parting is up to after these 2 games.
Yeah. He's the one that is driving this bus right now. And Jaedong's got to kind of figure out where it's going. We saw Hyun get ran over by Tasia, but one of the nice things that kind of breathed life into Hyun's chances in that series was in Game 3, critically down 0-2, he did a timing attack, something that he's very good at executing. And it's a nice way to kind of evacuate the butterflies from the stomach and say, okay, no, wait, we're 2-1. I got a real long ways to go, but I have a chance. Unfortunately, that story doesn't end like Rudy or anything like that. It's terrible. Tasia sprayed him again.
Speaking of timing attacks, I think we might have another attack from JD, possibly. Very early circling speed and the Roach Horn as well. But we'll see if he commits. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Lair gets queued up immediately after as well.
He saw the extra Nexus go down, and I think that's what all right, I'm going to go up to Lair.
This third Nexus from Parting is so early, so Photon Overcharge is going to be available. And it's so difficult to attack up this ramp. So very good choice by Jaedong, just going for the longer macro game here.
I wouldn't be too surprised to see some Mutalisk in this game. Wow, 3 more gateways by Parting already. That means that he's going to go up to 6 gates. Does he have a robot on the map?
That's pretty normal.
6 gates before a Twilight or a robot? Do you really think that's normal?
It's pretty normal.
Oh, he's adding in more gates.
That's unusual. Usually you go Twilight Council after that. A lot of Zergs are rushing Hydras on this map, specifically to crack down on that.
This is going up to 3 bases, but you actually stop at 45, 46 probes, and then you just 8 gate all in with +1.
That's an Artosis-esque reference, man. Alicia, flash from the past.
Jaedong,
a year plus.
Jaedong is so prepared
No.
for this. He has roaches out, but the question is he going to call this and make the right choice from here?
Oh, he's going to get stuck in the middle. Okay, no, good. He pulls back. Need to fight on creep at least. There's no Robotech, so of course no observers. He's circling around like he wants a concave, but Jaedong, you're not the big kid on the playground. He's going to back up Infestation Pit. Yeah,
I would cancel it. Like, I think that Jaedong right now,
Yeah.
every
He drops
resource
the
he can
spine.
get available, he should definitely use. And Infestation Pit is not going to make the difference. You just want to survive right now. You want to kill the sentries.
no, he's bleeding units out again. And he
this
sees
is
all those
fine.
sentries.
I think it was all right.
6 force fields is
Yeah.
a good amount forced.
Okay.
Like every second, once
And he's
again,
buying
is in
time for the
Jaedong's
spines.
favor. Look at Jaedong's production compared with Parting.
Buying time for the spines is very important right now.
If he
for
gets the
roaches as
pilot.
well.
Let's not forget that this time there is no robotics facility, no war prism.
That army is so much smaller out there. He's got to be so careful. It's about to get force fielded in.
Force fields can be so strong right here. He can even move all the way up. Nope. Spine crawler, more units.
Okay, Jaedong gets the surround that he wants. If he's going to do damage, it's right now. He's got a lot of roaches inside the concave. Queen's on the outside trying to do what they can, but it's not much. There's so many laser beams going on. Force fielding off most of his units at the top of the ramp, and that production that you were talking about, well, when it's getting chewed up into 1/3, it's just not that great.
I think Jaedong should retreat for now. He's going to pick up 1 or 2 sentries. He should fall back. He's still producing a lot of units. And the further Parting goes on creep, the harder it will be for Parting to reinforce because the pylon is going to be further and further away. Jaedong still has those spines as well. Let's not forget about that. And look at Parting. He's going back to pro production. He feels he can't break it anymore.
This is the annoying part about that when you start. You can't just camp on top of the ramp and be like, oh, okay, I can hold this now, because your third base mining can be interrupted from the low ground, like this.
Yeah, the Queens are going to try to work on the mothership core. They're going to force out a few more weapons as well. Parting has to be careful though. He can't afford to lose the mothership core.
Oh, and Jaedong is transitioning into Swarmhouse from here. That's a little bit of an odd choice, I think.
Such nice control from Parting. That Zealot weapon was just in time for the Zealot, or Zergang, excuse me, trying to get in on the Stalker Sentry. High ground, drones getting picked off. He's so good about pulling back the wounded units. It's just, I know, it's real subtle, kind of silly things to look at and be impressed with, but it's nice.
Yeah, I like this spine positioning here on the high ground. But still, these are so many Stalkers and so many sentries as well.
I like that Jaedong is bringing over the extra Queen so he can work on that mothership core and prevent the high ground vision. Of course, Parting still has quite a bit of energy, so he could use a hallucination and that would still be annoying, but that costs a lot of energy and he used most of it for force.
Did he get
field,
Enduring Locust?
Not
just
yet.
yet.
Not yet, and notice how there's no evolution chamber upgrades going either. So, I mean, Jaedong's going to survive off the back of Swarmhost for now, but the damage is real. I mean, there's the 2 Evo chambers. We have Blink coming in for a Protoss player. It's worth noting as well, I guess, he too is pulling off on his upgrades. I think he just has the 1 attack upgrade and has not yet started up a second, despite the fact that he has Twilight Council.
And this is not even all in from Parting. He's been probing up for minutes by now.
Yeah. I mean, it started off as an all-in, but he realized at a certain point, like, hey, I'm doing all right, but it's very unlikely I'm ever going to walk up that ramp far away from my pylon, no reinforcements, and win the game breaking spine crawlers. So he started building probes, but like you said, Snoot, he didn't just walk away. Like, no, he made the best of that situation, making life for Jaedong so frustrating, sticking around on the low ground.
And we do see it's going to be range upgrades for now. Snoot, what do you think about that? For Swarmhost, obviously, but...
I think right now Jaedong is just trying to stay alive, and going for the double upgrades here is the right call. Going for the 6 gases is the right call. Going for the hive as well is the right call. Jaedong is doing everything he has to right now to stay alive and to keep his hopes up for this game.
And it's going to be tough. We see the Robotics Bay immediately queued up. There's double Robo behind that, keep in mind. So we have observers coming out on the map. He is getting that +2, attack upgraded is the Protoss player, but it's a little bit late, but it's okay, because also the Zerg upgrades are late as well.
Yeah, so the next thing to expect from here is a little bit more of light harassment, as we can see from Parting. But then later on, he's going to attack with a big 200 Stalker Colossus army. And then he will go up against lots of Swarmhost and probably Vipers as well.
Yeah.
And then we will see some back and forth engagements there. And it's going to be up to Jaedong to hang in there. And Parting can also fall back on his economy later
Another
on.
subtle nice thing about keeping your army out here for Parting is that, yes, the creep spread's pretty okay for Jaedong, but it could have been a lot worse. If Parting just goes back at home and sits, this creep spread goes without anything to deter it and slow it down. And even now a Warp Prism, just fantastic play from Parting.
I wouldn't be surprised to see another War Prism later on. This
There
is
is
a great
a single
map.
Swarmhost, but there are so many Warpins here.
Oh my god, Parting
They
is
sell
just
it.
picking Jaedong apart. He's still being annoying on the third base as well, from the low ground, dropping force fields, killing drones. There's a lot of Zealots
He could get
working
that
on the
hive.
hive now.
Oh, the hive, that's a huge
No.
snipe. Fortunately though, Jaedong starts his Vipers ahead of time. But then again, if he loses them, he's going to be in major trouble.
It's going to be close.
Use the drones. Why doesn't he use the drones?
Not possible. The Cello TPS might be a little bit too much.
Oh,
really
the
close.
transfuses.
Okay.
The queens are here to save the hive.
Nice save by Jaedong.
Whoa.
War Prism survives, though, and that's going to be a constant problem. So, I mean, what Jaedong has to do is build, like, stack defenses back there, but that's a cost against him as well. His fourth only just now, either finished or queued up.
I think Jaedong is doing a really good job of stabilizing here. Protoss 4 base, it can be strong, but then again, Swarm Hosts and Vipers, really amazing at defending.
Here he comes. He's going to go for that hive again. Tries to get a surface area around the hive. The queen transfuses.
Not gonna get it.
No, more queens coming in. So the transfusers are just going to kind of tease it. It's like, you almost got
Yeah, I think that Jaedong is doing that on purpose. Where he's like, if I were you, I would walk in another Zealot too.
Yeah.
Like, go for it, buddy. You almost
keep
got
trying.
it.
Keep trying, buddy.
Jaedong is playing this so well, adding on 11 additional drones. He has his 4th base unlocked. He might be able to take this to the long game and win it from there. Parting supply is so low. Where's this Colossus at?
If you're a Jaedong fan, that's what you're hoping for, because right now he's stabilizing, but it's not looking good. The harass of the third was really nice. They're on equal bases. Like, Parting is step for step with him. He kept the Warp Prism alive, so Jaedong has to spend money keeping this hive alive. 5th base from Parting.
I love this from Parting. This quick 5th base is so good. You get access to the 9th and the 10th gas. That's so valuable for Protoss. Really great play from Parting here. He's also starting his +1 air and the Stargate.
He's starting everything. He's starting Observer Speed. He's starting a Dark Shrine. He's literally everywhere.
Yeah, very nice setup coming up here from Parting. And he knows that Jaedong cannot really move out. Jaedong is busy defending in the main against this War
he goes
Prism.
for it again. No,
he's not going to get it. No, there's no way.
Oh,
no.
so close.
Okay. That's when that misclick happens, where the Zerg hits their own hive. You're like, no!
But the Colossus are at the front. Parting supply is still low, though.
Parting played this so well, though. Of course, like, he lost a couple of units here and there, but he's been so active with at least his army in the middle of the map. He's like, this army has not been home since the first time he moved out.
Yeah.
How cool is that? That's a very unique way of playing Protoss, I think.
And it seems like Parting is not wasting any time. He's not adding on more Colossus. He's just going to go straight into Tempest. Okay, there we go. 2 more Colossi, but still, he seems to favor the Tempests faster rather than staying on Stalker Colossus for a long time. I like that quite a lot.
Well, he's just set up so well. I got to go back to your point. Taking that fast 5th like this, it's an indirect pressure on Jaedong.
I like what Parting was trying to do there. He's like, hey, War Prism will finally get picked off. Dark Templars, do we have detection?
Okay, this is actually nice for Jaedong.
Oh, look, there's no detection at the hive. Oh, there are Spore Crawlers, actually.
But are they in range? Oh, there's one.
Yeah, there's one.
Transfuse.
Oh, nice transfusion.
Spore Crawlers see everything, man.
That's a lot of money wasted for Parting. I mean, he could have had a massive bank by now, but this harassment has cost him quite a lot.
Parting down 40 supply. No.
It
really doesn't.
No Templar with his army, a couple of Colossus being abducted.
I like that.
Oh my God.
So cute.
So sick. That's actually really well done.
They're quite good at StarCraft. Even TLO would agree with that, I think.
Well, Jim.
Good is relative. Shut it, Dario. You're not even here and you're disagreeing with me. Someone said TLO.
Yeah, Parting getting his mothership, getting Storm, another Stargate. Would love to see some more cybernetics upgrades coming in. Weapons upgrade.
Yeah. You know what this also does too? When the Zerg's fighting for survival this whole time, it kind of like Jaedong is maxed out. I like the second Spire here, by the way, to really kind of focus on those upgrades. But they can get stuck on weird things. Like when all these Tempests do end up come rolling in, you don't necessarily want a super high Swarm Host count. You don't want certain things. We're actually not seeing a whole lot of, like, he's still sitting on roaches. He should throw them away eventually in the lings.
Yeah, he has 19 Swarm Hosts, and I think that's more than enough for the late game against the Tempests.
Yeah.
So he just has to trade off these roaches and replace them with a few Corruptors. But the most important thing right now for JD is to build a massive bank so he can keep taking these trades against Parting. Because right now...
I would like to see Jaedong at least figure out that there is a 5th base as well, though. Like, he's completely unaware of that.
Yeah.
And I think he could actually start rallying a couple of Swarmos over there, or maybe just like a couple of Locusts. If he works a little bit on his creep, those Locusts are going to be very frustrating to deal with for Parting.
This is better to see, though, by the way. Jaedong ends up a lot of times being the aggressive Swarm Host player, and it really, for him at least, it's not really that great looking, but he's kind of channeling his inner Stefano, and he's looking to play the really irritating, I'm never going to attack, everyone's going to hate me style.
Snoot is sitting next to you, Jeff. Be
Snoot
careful
does
with
that
your
too.
words.
Yeah. Well, Stefano did it first. You know that.
Yeah. No, I agree. It can be.
You'll get
very
to do it
annoying
last,
deal
though.
with.
He's super retired. He's sitting on the couch with those guys, for people that don't know.
Yeah, but the thing here is that the Protoss is kind of ahead in economy. It's
Hello?
71. Oh, wow.
Hallucinated Colossus attack!
Choo-choo.
That's a misclick, by the way, folks. Been there, done that one, too. Someone right now is like, no, it's not. That's a metagame attack.
Are fake, right?
I do like breaking down the back rocks here. It opens up counterattack possibilities later. Still going for the
Yeah,
hive.
he really
the
wants
drones are pulled. They're zoning it out.
Couple of locusts
Can he
helping out
keep
as
the
well.
hive alive this time?
Yes, I think. Oh, it's a lot of zealots.
No way.
Where are the queens? Do we have another transfuse? Yeah, I think he might get.
No
yeah,
way.
He's gonna keep it alive.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And BattleNet takes a pause to celebrate this moment. God, that was awesome. They know just when to emphasize the cool. Really do.
Man, we have a leg. It's not even a meal.
A true test of esports passion. If you can still cheer
On Sunday.
emphatically on Sunday, you're a damn good sports person. You're good.
I mean, the Hangover crew did just enter the building, so I'm sure they'll be cheering with us.
Toting
soon.
McDonald's BT dubs.
It's like it's such a beautiful sight when you see Blink, Daishi, Stefano, and the Muslim
Still
walk in
alive.
with 6 bags of McDonald's. It's like, was a good night, boys.
Story Cup's really tough on our bodies. Blink said he might have broke his arm. No joke.
What's up with British people and breaking their arms?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that angle. In Germany, by the way. All right, an invisible army stalks forward. A lot of Templar here.
Oh, no.
Jaedong
Gotta be
baits out a
careful.
couple of storms.
You don't want to eat storms with those corruptors.
You don't. You don't want to
It
eat 'em.
hurts.
I don't think that this
Oh.
army of
A little bit
parting
of
is-
Roach here in
yeah,
the top.
That's nice. At the 5th
Roach
place.
Ras. Yeah.
Roach harass.
Hey, look at that. They still have a place in this game. 25 minutes in.
Yeah.
They always
Will they
have a
get the
place in
Nexus?
this game, Jeff. I believe in the thing called recall.
Oh, no. It's the real
Look,
life
you
Roddy
even
sound
forced
for it.
out the recall. Look how valuable these roaches are.
Roddy Macro.
You make a pretty good meat, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jaedong's resource bank is running a little bit in the wrong ratio. He's so heavy on gas, but the focus right now has to be
Oh,
minerals.
Snoot. You're so silly.
4K gas.
You haven't seen Jaedong's recent, his new thing. It's not Jaedong and Mutas, it's Jaedong Infestors. He rips out 45 Infestors all of a sudden.
Hey, this
the
is not Wings
fungals.
of Liberty anymore.
The fungals will blot out the sky.
If you say so.
You know what's interesting though? Still not the Tempest yet. Double expand coming in from parting, so he's certainly planning on it. He's got the Stargates added behind this.
He's going up to 4 Stargates now, by the way.
Well,
And he has
more.
double Cybercore upgrades. How sexy is that?
Yeah.
Where's the shield upgrade?
He's working on those 2, I believe. He already has 1.
All right. Here
So
comes,
good.
There's the Tempest. Excuse me. He was actually just banking up on him. And he's going to roll in on this left side. That's the 5th base of Jaedong. Does not want to let that
yeah.
go. Abducts maybe, but
Abducts,
those are
mothership.
invisible Templar. And they do get the mothership.
That's a funny time.
And I
warp.
would ask the question, but at what cost? But actually, not that bad. It's okay. He didn't get feedback, right? Did he get the Vipers out?
Yes.
They're still alive?
He only lost 1 Viper,
Okay, not
Viper
bad.
throughout the entire game, so.
NBD.
I think Parting might be trying to just contain Jaedong on 5 bases for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
And so far he seems to be doing a very good job. It's a very good strategy because eventually the Zerg will have so much gas but no minerals to make Corruptors with. And then the Tempests will have 0 contest.
Oh, a couple of more storms landing on this Corruptors. The Corruptors not quite at a number where they can take on this army, but if they can pick it off piecemeal like
very
that.
nice storms by Parting here, getting all the Corruptors into the yellow and the orange.
Meanwhile, Parting is fighting into the
Gotta be
stack
careful with
defense.
this High Templar.
I don't like that move at all. He's going to lose so
There's
many of
Parting's
these High
first
Templars.
mistake in 3 games, basically. Seriously.
I don't really like this attack. I think he should back off. He's
Yeah, I mean,
actually
if you're gonna
losing.
starve the Zerg out, you don't need to stress it, you know. You don't have to push the Zerg down to 4
Okay.
bases again.
I
But
mean, he's
so
kind-
far, seems to be working fine.
He's actually getting more done than I thought he will, and he might be able to get the hatchery as well.
Oh, wow. Storm almost went rogue.
And this is so expensive for Jaedong. He lost so much mineral income right now.
It was kind of expensive for parting.
It
too, though.
is. To that point, though, look at Parting blue on the map. He's the guy that's free to expand everywhere. He's up to like 12 gas right now.
And he has the Dark Shrine, so he can easily use Dark Templar to defend these spaces.
Yep. Speak of the devil, there's a couple of swipes coming in here now.
Yeah, I love the defensive DTs here from Parting. Such a good move.
On the flip side, if you want to talk about hope for Jaedong, losing that hatch does suck, and it is expensive, but you'll notice his money remains kind of a constant 2,000.
Yeah.
He needs to hold on to it, and he can't afford to keep losing it, but losing that battle in particular, not the biggest of deals.
Not the biggest of deals.
And did he really lose it though? Like if you take a look at the Human's Last Resource tab, it's like 22,000 against 17,000. Of course, he wasted a lot of money in the main base, but
Oh, I thought you meant the base. I was about to laugh. I
Oh,
was
no,
like,
he lost
no,
the
on this
hatch,
one I'm
but-
certain of it. I saw
but
it
I mean,
happen.
like he lost the big mothership at the start of the battle.
Yeah.
He lost a bunch of Void Rays, a Tempest or two. He lost 5-6 High Templars, a couple Archons. So like, yeah, Jaedong is slowed down, but I don't think that parting can capitalize on that minor,
Yeah.
economic hiccup.
Not really,
But
but
it's-
what he did was reduce the amount of creep going towards the 6th base of Jaedong. And like I mentioned, minerals is everything for Zerg at this stage. You have basically infinite gas, but minerals, Jaedong is going to run out. If we take a look at his 3rd base, it's almost out of resources. The 4th base is running dry as well, slowly but surely. And the 5th base, well, it's not really
Yeah.
running right now. Jaedong is long distance
Yeah.
mining.
That's
So
a good
if the
point.
6th base doesn't get up, then Jaedong is in massive trouble.
Yeah, he's on one base economy, essentially.
But you could say that eventually Warprison is going to get picked off as well as the Tempest get a few shots down. I feel once he has this 5th base with all his static defenses, don't you think the 6th base on the left side should be relatively easy to take?
But it's been slowed down, as Snoot's
It's
point.
been slowed down so much, yeah. It's never easy.
He's got to be careful with those Vipers, too. Remaking them is really expensive as the game goes on. Parting has been... Like, yeah, those Templar wandered forward and
like
died,
this.
but otherwise he's just fighting creep. He went at that base at the right time. I love... Okay, I'm going to break away from that. Parting's doing great. I love the hidden base lower right. That's great from Jaedong. That's the kind of thing that can give him the boost that he needs, because he's not going to take a standard base easily, but if he can sneak one in and just get those gases running, that's huge.
Yeah.
I really like the Nidus network. I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, me too. I think it's absolutely necessary to protect the base in the lower right here. But then again, keeping map control against the Protoss is
Here
so
he goes.
difficult.
He wants to grab that mothership. Oh, he whiffs on the yank the first one. Does
There
get it
it
that
is.
time, and he will get the mothership. So that's going to
very
slow down
nice.
Parting's ability to really go deep with this attack for now.
Yeah. The Swarm hosts can actually be useful now. Locust going forward, push the high tempo.
Oh, wow.
down.
Good feedback there.
Jaedong being
another
really
feedback.
aggressive. He's going to lose a couple of Vipers. Yeah, he gets
He
a
lost all of
Colossus
them.
there, but I mean, that was overly aggressive. He loses 4 Vipers there.
Yeah, lots of damage done to the Corruptors though, and I'm not sure about the Queen count. Let's see.
Only
Queen
at
count
4.
is only on 4, so it's not like Jaedong can transfuse
Right.
his Corruptors easily.
Those are injector
Wow.
queens, too. They're not really with the army at all.
He already has 20 Corruptors and he's making 13 more, so he's going to have 33 Corruptors.
Yeah.
Man, in Legacy of the Void, you can do cool stuff with that.
Yeah, it gets scary at that number, because the Templar have been doing their work, but in each fight, they're kind of subtly, now without the mothership, they're dying
Huge
as well.
fight here. Lots of Tempest being pulled in. Very nice moves by Jaedong. These Archons are not splashing onto the Corruptors just yet.
Love how he always uses Corruption immediately. Like, even though
Yeah.
he's going to kill the Tempest, if you can just kill it one volley quicker, just
Yeah.
do it, you know?
Not a bad move.
Talking about the units lost tab though, it seems like Parting slowly but surely is starting to equalize.
That's because he got a lot of the Vipers. He
Yeah.
feedback like 4 of them.
Oh,
Very
wow.
bold
JD being
move.
so aggressive.
Oh, the Archons. The Archons looking for the super shots. Actually, chasing the Viper instead of the Corruptors.
Losing a Viper or a couple is
Cool.
not a very big deal right
Nidus
now.
Swarm top left.
Yep, Nidus working the top left. I kind of like this. I think it's a great move.
Does he have? He has to have.
But
But
then again-
forces to use it, right?
He does have to deal with defensive DTs. So does he have an Overseer?
He does. It was what spotted for.
Oh yeah, that's great. This is a very good
Good fight over here. Now
combo
you can see
attack.
Jaedong using the Locust with the Corruptors. That's what he needs to be doing. Otherwise, the Archons are just going to kill it. So yeah, immediately DTs are warped in, but there is
Yeah. But there's no detection.
Overseer.
There's no detection over here for parting.
Ah, here
There
comes the
was. There it
DT.
is. But it's going to get that. Oh my gosh, it's going to get the Nidus Swarm anyways.
Yeah, but he can
It
put
should
up a
just
new one.
He should just focus on the Nexus like immediately, or kill the Protoss and the Nexus.
This army from Parting in the middle of the map is taking some unnecessary hits, and
Oh, he
JD.
found the
Oh, he
base.
found the
That's a
base.
big deal. Because
Yeah.
it could be that for 45 minutes it's never found, but the fact that it's found here is fantastic.
But then again, Jaedong is taking
Yeah.
the 6th base that he needs so
Yeah.
much on the left-hand side.
That was a big deal, though. If that base doesn't get found, it's like a part of the reason why Jaedong could go on to
Yeah.
win the game.
And I like this
Oh.
move.
He's
Jaedong
going to
is-
siege
oh my
up
God,
the
he's-
base from the high ground. This is actually really cool. Like, this
Yeah.
is the most important base for parting right now. I
He
know
needs
it
to be
looks...
careful, though. What
this
if he
force
loses
is
the Nidus
parting.
Worm?
This forces Parting's army to be in the north side, and that allows Jaedong to do whatever he wants with the southern side of the map. It's very good here by Jaedong.
And this is actually a very, very cool Swarm Wars game so far. It's
Yeah.
very dynamic.
Well, sitting on a couch with Snoot and Rotterdam and a silent Stefanos, I couldn't ask for a better Sunday. That's right.
I get nervous when
And all of you guys
Stefano is that
watching.
close to me.
But I have to say,
It's not contagious.
If Jaedong wants to put on more pressure, Jaedong has to get a few more Queen's creep tumors going, I feel.
Well, if you go down there, it is. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
But then again, this position is really close to parting spaces.
This
I
is
think
what it's like
that-
when worlds collide soon here.
Yeah, the top left corner is going to be really tense very soon. Lots of Swarm House,
34.
Tempests.
Only 2 Vipers. He needs to raise that number quite a bit.
Yeah, look at
He
this.
keeps losing them.
Dealing with DTs on a map as big as Deadwing or Outer Seam
Oh my
Stronghold is
God.
so difficult. And here come the Tempest. Here's the Protoss Death Ball.
Yeah, it's a lot of Swarmos though. We have 34 Corruptors. I really don't think that Parting can break this base right now. If he does, he's a...
But then again, look at the bank.
Targets down the Viper.
Ducks.
Fantastic focus fire.
Remember,
A little bit sloppy from Jaedong to have it that far forward. Here come the tags.
Jaedong has only 1,000 minerals. He can afford like 7 additional Corruptors. That's not a whole lot.
Parting didn't get the revelation on the Vipers and on the Corruptors this time though. Oh, let's be careful with his Oracles as well.
Man, these Tempests are dealing so much damage.
It takes a
couple more
while.
Bases.
I look at Tempest as slow and steady.
It does.
Oh,
There's the
that's
money
the range.
tag that he wanted.
Yep.
Viper 2 back there.
Notice how he's just using hold position. Playing it very
Yep.
safe and slow.
All right,
He's going to ride into the Locust.
Oh,
Storm's going
no,
down.
Storms,
Storm's
Storms.
They get the mothership,
Oh
but
my
they take
God.
so much damage.
Wow,
They're all in
the
orange health.
Corruptors. All the Corruptors in the orange.
And
Massive
he's going
hits
to back
there.
away. It looks like Parting saw all the damage done and says, I'm going to stick it out here for a
Wow.
while.
Look,
Did the-
so many Storms left.
He's actually going to break this base against 17 Swarmos and like 30 something
No 6 space for Jaedong. This is what I was talking about. Jaedong has no minerals left.
Jaedong has to space out and come in. He can't be clumped up like this, I don't think. If he wants to fight it, there's only
It's a
one
very nice
Archon.
pulse.
He could take this. Well, I don't know. He's so low health in the
There's
Corruptors.
so
but
many storms, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd
The
have to
storms
mega
will-
spread out. But
If he loses the High Templars, yeah, then like Jaedong can just kill this army. But
Yeah.
oh no,
But
there's
still,
four
there's
Archons
quite
there.
a few Archons in there, and they can
Yeah, I
be
only saw
very
one.
effective against
There's
the
a bunch
Corruptors.
though.
Parting is playing this so methodical, so well, so safe, and like he makes it look so easy to control this army. But like I always lose my Oracles all the time. I always lose my Mothership all the time. All the units get abducted. And Parting just excellent army movement and control. It's gonna let another big storm over here that connects with the majority of the Corruptors.
Yeah, I would love to see a handful of Infestors just to fungal and lock down the High
Yeah.
Templar. But even the Infestors will get picked off by the Tempest and the Colossi, so it's a very tough spot to be in as Jaedong.
It really is. He's having a tough time mining. It's actually, this attack's coming in on his only mining base.
Yeah.
Jaedong is setting up in the middle of the map, but I'm sure DTs will zero in on that fairly soon
Yeah.
as well if they haven't already.
The one good thing about this is that there is no Mothership, so Locust can actually go forward and deal some damage, but still, the AoE from Parting is just so massive.
Look how he always storms the Corruptors the second they're in range. It's not
Yeah.
killing Corruptors yet, but it's making them incapable of moving in to kill
Yeah.
this Protoss army.
Jaedong has 47 Corruptors
Oh,
now.
he's gonna go for the big split, the huge concave,
That's
maybe
not
go for a
that,
full
he needs to
surround.
split more though.
Yeah.
This is not
That's
enough.
not
they're
that
too
much
low
of a
on
spread.
HP. It's just, I have
Still
never seen 100
so
supply
many storms left.
of Corruptors.
Look at them. They're just getting stormed as they run away.
Yep.
Yeah, these storms were not that great though. How many storms
And
are
look,
left?
This
For the-
base is dead. Jaedong will not be mining.
For the
Only
first
2
time
more
in a long time.
storms. I actually think now he could take the fight. There's only 2 more storms available.
Well,
But still.
at what cost?
Just go for it.
Yeah, he can go. Parting can just straight up run. He says, you know what? Abduct 5, 6, 7 Corruptors or
Oh, massive
Tempest.
storms.
Those were the only storms that were available. He has no more storm in his army.
It's fine.
He's gonna go home.
Jaedong's remaking a base that he can't defend. It's far away from his stacked defenses, far away from his swarm host. The second DTs find it, they're just going to chop it down. Well, okay, it's slightly defended. No, ugh, damn it. Super not going to die at all.
Swarm host.
But when the Air Armada, when the Golden Fleet comes over there, then it's in trouble.
Still though, he has to pass a lot of creep, so let's see if Jaedong can hold the middle of the map here.
Once again,
First, you must pass my creep field.
take a look at the storm count. I believe we have.
Doesn't get the Archon.
Yeah,
Removing
but
the
there's nothing to
Archons.
kill it. You abducted it into a spine crawler.
Yeah, removing the Archons is very important.
4
have
or
to-
5 storms available in this army right now fighting.
These Corruptors are so clumped. Jaedong really has to be careful here.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Jaedong is almost quite literally circling the drain. His army's just kind of flying around, getting stormed to smithereens. There should be one final
Massive
engagement, but
storms
it
once more.
shouldn't be that close. There's still Archons in here, and there's no Locust yet. So every time they fight in conjunction with the storms, they're just getting hosed with damage.
Wow.
Being out of storms is one thing, but when you still have Archons to back it up, then it's not really a great concern.
Just to show how extremely well Parting has been playing, if take a look at the unit loss resource tab. He lost 5,000 resources more in a certain phase in the game, and now Jaedong lost 5,000 resources more. Well, he's the Swarmos player.
But look at the banks. 7.5k.
It's a hard-fought win, but Parting is pushing in. The space, of course, not mining. It's more symbolic than anything, but Jaedong is receding further and further into his base. You'll notice the stack defenses aren't being remade because he just flat can't afford it. Meanwhile, Parting is moving around like a amazing real estate agent, just taking whatever base he freaking wants.
A beautiful display of late-game PvC by Parting here.
Totally,
this is how you play late-game, end-game Protoss. This is the way to do it.
It makes Swarmos look bad when you face Parting. You're like, what was he supposed to do differently? It's like, well, Parting from the very beginning of the game never stopped applying pressure.
He played so well.
You know, next time I go on ladder and someone says Swarmos Dimba, I'm going to say, watch this
Play
game.
like Parting.
Play like Parting. This is how you do it.
Yeah, the corruptor count's been chopped down. There's the last mining base. And yeah, I mean, one abduct, big deal.
I mean, the corruptor count is still very high. The corruptors could potentially kill this army, but even if
look
they
at the
do,
supplies though.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't matter. Like, it truly doesn't matter. Jaedong has no money, like you guys mentioned multiple times.
In the end, you did the opposite. You came in the back way on that.
I really agree with Snoot though. Like, I do not feel that Parting could have done much better. It's just like everything from start to finish, and the fact that he was out on the map with his very first attack for so many minutes, like up to the 20-minute mark, these units were still running around in the middle of the map. I love how he went from 1 to 3 to 4 to 5 targets eventually, still taking new bases. Just beautiful play. Absolutely phenomenal
Jaedong currently
play.
with 6 drones on the map, by the way.
He's trying to go for some more pulls here, but these Archons
5
are just
Archons say, get out! Get out! And Jaedong, he's got nowhere else to go, of course. Losing this game means he's eliminated from HomeStory Cup 10. And the big match between him and Flash will have to be put off to a later date, as Parting is going to round out this quarterfinal with a convincing victory.
Well, you know how you should win this game? By finally killing that hive.
With a Zealot Warper.
Yeah, yes.
Can't do it any other way.
Come on, Parting, free up some supply. Oh, the Archons are getting so close, by the way, to all these corruptors. He still has the Warper. I think he forgot about it because it's like so far on the edge you barely see it on the minimap.
Did Parting have this mothership again? I think it just
it's just sitting over there though. He's tired of getting abducted, but there's no Vipers anymore, so I guess he can come over and join the fun.
Come on, Parting, get that hive.
Wow, look at this army.
4 Colossus, a grip of Archons and Tempest, the mothership. This is the army you want. Maybe a couple of Oracles to spice up the life.
Yep.
He had that earlier.
Hey, he found his Warper.
Remember me?
It's
from
going
35 minutes ago?
Making his way towards the hive.
Jaedong's army's mid-map. There's the GG. Parting 3-0's Jaedong. And is making good. Making good on this tournament.
Showcasing very different styles of PvC. Some very aggressive stuff. Some great pressure on overgrowth as well. And then ultimately the perfect late game here.
This game started with an 8-gate, guys. I mean, he transitioned out of an 8-gate. He did damage, yes. He saw the